Hello everyone, myself Vivek Devani and my topic is investigations of vertebral fractures.
So today we are going to see the investigation methods which are used to diagnose the vertebral fractures. So the investigation methods which are used to diagnose the vertebral fractures are plain X-rays, computerized tomography scans means CT scans, magnetic resonance imaging means MRIs, and the bone scintigraphy means the bone scans. So now first let's start with the plain X-rays. So X-rays are useful for the confirmation of the diagnosis, any kind of assessment of the mechanism of injury, and also for the assessment of the stability of the spine. The factors which are seen on the X-rays are the stability of the spine, the normal alignment of all the vertebrae, any kind of anterior or posterior displacement of the vertebrae, any kind of fractures of the vertebral body, or any kind of the fractures of any kind of other elements of the vertebrae such as lamina, transverse process, or any kind of spinous process, or etc. So any kind of injury such as whiplash injury during a car sudden stoppage of a car is mainly not seen on X-ray. In such cases, other kind of radiological investigations can be used. So now let's see some of the examples of plain X-rays. So first let's see about the compression fracture. So in this X-ray you will able to see the compression fracture of the L1 vertebrae. So this kind of fracture mostly occurs due to the front portion of the vertebrae collapses due to any kind of direct pressure or trauma on the vertebrae. Next is transverse process fracture. So in this X-ray you will able to see multiple lumbar transverse processes are fractured. Mostly this kind of fracture occurs due to any kind of direct injury over the vertebrae, such as direct injury during any kind of fall from a vehicle. So next is burst injury. So this is an X-ray of a burst injury showing the burst injury of the T12 vertebrae. So normally the burst injury occurs when there is an involvement of the whole vertebral body, and it usually occurs due to any kind of a high velocity impact or a severe fall. Usually during a burst injury, many times there are chances that the spinal cord is also intact and there is a need of immediate medical treatment. So the next is CT scan. When any kind of X-ray is not able to interpret, and we are not able to diagnose any kind of fracture using a plain X-ray, mostly the doctors refer the patient to go for a CT scan. So normally the CT scan means the computerized tomography scan. It is a test which is a very kind of detailed test, and it shows cross-sectional images of the spine, including the vertebrae, disc, and also the surrounding structures. So let's take an example of a CT scan. So here is a CT scan report showing the compression fracture of the L1 vertebra. So the next is MRI. MRI means the magnetic resonance imaging. So MRI scans are one of the best radiographical tests used for any kind of diagnosis. So MRI scans can also show any kind of soft tissue such as nerves and the ligaments, as well as it also show the bone structures. So the MRI scans are also useful in detecting any kind of spinal cord injury such as compression, and it also used in assessing any kind of damage caused by the vertebral fractures. So now let's see an example of the MRI scan. So here is an MRI report showing the vertebral body fracture. So the next is bone scintigraphy, means the bone scans. Bone scintigraphy normally involves the injecting a radioactive tracer or a dye into the bloodstream, which normally gets accumulated in the area where there is a bone growth seen. Usually it can be used for the detection of the vertebral body fractures. So now let's see an example of the bone scintigraphy. So here is an example of the bone scintigraphy showing the vertebral body fractures in the sagittal slices.
Thank you all for listening me.